So continue with the song here. The Milarepa goes on saying that if you believe that there is no higher realization than that, then also you could not progress any further. And however, there are many levels of meditation, of samadhi. Actually, there is limitless experiences of samadhi to be had. And your own experience was an experience of shamatha, or calm abiding.
This is using ina dorje sembe namba gomdina tene jongkuzi yonten kundian cha te chenap sama so son juga pen shosame me ta be chang na ma de jongdi so na tene na ma motera gomdina ze yon ti jongte so son juga ti go ban de sa te zo wo te terwa namba te lama timba chi ngo wo dorje semba ngo wo te lama timba te namba dorje semba wa ta da nga ze chwa sa ngi te bu la shi ma.
Just one word about the practice of Vajrasattva before. So we have said that we visualize the form of Vajrasattva, but having the essence, the nature of the root guru. And the reason for that is that any root guru, any person that we rely on is a human being. And being a human being, it is possible that there might be a slight fault that could be found in that human being. And then if we see that a fault, then it is possible that this fault also then in a way we assimilate this fault. But then when we visualize Vajrasattva is a deity that is free from all flaws and possesses only perfect qualities. And so that is why it is often more beneficial to visualize Vajrasattva, because in that way, when there is no faults, then the blessings can really enter our mind.
Satan lam je renba yang cai ke zhuba zam si wo da ten lu qian ding ge ji ya tang zhuo ya mi na this salam te zo chang ma cai gan bo zam me de ta yo ma de chang ma da xin zhuo ge de si zong duo Satan lam je renba yi do de renba zu yo ma ra ke ge ma duo renba yang cai ke zhuba zam si cai zuo zam shi duo so yo de su nyam tuo jie guo shu ra nyam nyong jie guo cai ji bu tuo la tuo ge ma rang ran su de du nyam tuo jie de ge ri da cai zong zam ma da qian la xiao de laptop sa me de chang ma da cha sa ri si qian la ba de na yi na.
So then he continues saying that so if what you're saying would be true, then all of these different levels of samadhi would be meaningless, and then also the various levels of the stages and the paths all would just be mental elaboration. They would all become meaningless. So if we would just leave it with words and saying that this is how it is, then nothing would progress. We actually must have a personal experience. That experience cannot really be expressed in words. So if what you say is true, then there would be no progressing along the different stages and paths.
我这这种多的呢，一个嘎咱们写吧了，老板他老他亲吧看了就是一个嘎写的，老板他们他亲个嘛啦，一个嘎结果写的那个一个他妈写个嘛啦，他过现在估计30万写那种，这姑娘他没来的吧，拉死我操，对呀，这还把钱啥这种，一个嘎咱们写吧，嘎就不行了。 一个他妈老让他亲个嘛啦，这样一个讲的吧。我这边讲的，就在现在国际上说的过，他那没来的吧？这离俺俩我讲的吧？这就的那一个干咱们写来的，老板他亲个嘛的是，这种多的呢，老板他说，他妈的一个老板，他妈的一个干的拉不是吧？他妈的一个干的，妈的是不行拉不的什么样子？干就不写的，那一个他妈写都这样，这干的可不的是，别看了他，别。
How to be?
다 곰자가. 곰 탐보 잡지처럼 참아 시즈 내로 도서 말이스. 이 가더라. What Ramsey Lobs. What that hasn't excited.
So Milarepa goes on saying that it is just like this, though Rajungpa's claim that Milarepa's realization would not be higher than his, there's no higher realization. It would be just like saying that I'm knowing how to, I'm knowing the letters, I'm knowing how to read. But that in itself alone does not perfect your practice of recitation. And so, however, he says then, if in order to perfect reading and reciting fully, if you wish to perfect reading and writing, you do have to start with the alphabet, gradually training in all the letters and work yourself up. So similarly, you have to train in the various levels of meditation.
Then taking Gunchen Tomdo Nase, Toby, Tosam Gomson, Tandian Base, Zaldani Lambine, Zaldani La Rabine, so that's not yet Tomdo Yona Tobachi Gores, Sambachi Gores, Gombachi Gores, Tosam Gono Yamaji Chigoshore. That Tobachi Guki Pengamari, what a Zamba Gombat Goshoris, what a Dandere, the Zaldani Chigores, Toza, Jabajan, what a kitchen bochadi or Sony Masana Yomara. Sardiani Zayat Parjan, Tati, Rambines, Shilani La Lobarchis, what she need the London to lab goristed. What is on law? Tang Kalikan Malos, is that nothing
So, and then he says that if you wish to attain the state of omniscience or the state of enlightenment, you must go through all the stages of learning, of reflecting, and of meditating. So only learning, only knowledge alone will not do. You also have to reflect and meditate and so on. You also have to make an effort in gathering the two accumulations and purifying all the obscurations. And you must gradually train in the stages of calm abiding and insight, or shamatha and vipassana.
Then the Zondo, Tata Choji, Topa, Shinezi, Bengo Zamis, Taking Ochu, Dedadi, Shinezi, Bengo Zamis, Tara, and the Satirima, Taking Ochu, Kahan,
so then he says, your realization is in fact nothing but the beginning of shamatha's arising.
That's a young or two in the Darchas, number of his social, Sam the Junsi Mantrova, Tela Shine made that's water, or she needs the same sort that's so near Aringo, Chirosha Tromatol, or the Chiranta that she needs near yours, she needs near the Tanoterio on my young side, so not that my lawyer said, she does, tricky of the middle.
And so then he goes on with the introduction to that is shamatha, calm abiding. And he says that calm abiding is the state where all conceptual thoughts have calmed down, have been pacified, and the mind does not waver for even a moment. The mind abides completely still. That is what we call shamatha, or calm abiding.
Oh, then she named to Das, Lamdo. Yeah, number to my use. She never seen Mambo Yores. Chitan Shining to Karsena, Milarepa Zongura, she needs at the same Namto Samapa Shesone, Nilogan, Zerapa, the Namto Mantrova, near the letter. She needs to get Lavera. What is she needs to main don't in daughter? That he was another the Guntan Dharma Mambo Yorelana, Namtoachin and Basom, Siavatea, you delobate Chasen Kangamatuna Yorova. What to do Eva Sin Yamtosi, Tomachina, Eva Zom Sean. They all Guntanchin and Dharma Mambo in water, that any later makes it.
So he says that the state of shamatha is the state where all the various conceptual thoughts have all calmed down, and the mind abides in this calm state, thought-free state. And so then it says here, in general, there are many different divisions to shamatha. For example, in the Ganges Mahamudra, Tilopa makes 3 divisions, or like 3 steps or stages of shamatha practice.
Neba xie deng tu nen dangja tongbi xine is that neba jigo men zhe dang xin dangja de so sa ra ko sem tangja de la sem ne lo gang zai tangja de so du da ku jiao jian tian ji qiao zai qin bong ne lo duo song zang duo xin de jibo li men da ko zai sem dangja de zai guang de du si xin de yang wo ji xin de yang ta jie yo sa yang de
And so Milarepa says that the shamatha that has arisen within you is a true, authentic state of shamatha that not only possesses a quality of abiding, but also a quality of being completely clear, in a sense of clear of all thoughts in the mind.
这种多真心里，这种不动人品有是，我这年做的是光成这样，这种人品有的是嘛，这基本的就没得是吧？不动人品有的是，但现在基本没得，我说现在这当光电波桥下种在这外面做的，像那路电拍照过去了，现在刚才做像没有了，偏给面那路做电拍拍的的是，是诈骗你们吧？ 我在自己真的，他动不往同人品有是，平常我们前拍些，平常他我们讲的忙切这个是，是吧？现在这个有米特是，当家这话相同意思。我在现在提纲这种现在这是，平常我们讲的忙切这，这相同意思，怎么啷都是，对吧？是吧？论不切他米，是的，论不切他米，是的，都是。
So then he says that. So still, although you have attained that, shamatha alone is still not enough. There still are more stages to train in, more levels to train in. And so shamatha actually is not the ultimate goal. It's calm abiding. We practice calm abiding only in order to attain the stability needed to see the nature of the mind. But the stability itself is not seeing the nature of the mind. So the stability itself will not make you see the natural state of the mind. It just becomes like the foundation for it. But there's still more ways to go. So he says that nowadays, most of the meditators believe that their state of shamatha, or calm abiding, that is this unmoving, thought-free state that appears to them as calm and lucid, empty and clear. They believe that this state is actually vipassana or insight. And so Milarepa says, this is just like the talk of stupid people.
他现在到这有没？他这我空，现在到话这的有完没得？是谁让俺吃？让人热心的这类事，最多他真这个那边搞的好的多，就让他退休那边他是我的，他同他是我的是吧？是我的是，现在娘就让当意思，他那边什么的。 我但是现在让当一些在那老乡这些，在马从在几个人都是在公司的，公司。
So then he says that this state, this thought-free, unmoving state of calm, has a quality of clarity, of being like very vigilant. There's something lively to it. There's also some quality of so you say like kind of a clear, lucid state. It appears to be very clear, basically. But that state of this pristine, calm, clear state, that is actually a natural experience of this meditative state of shamatha, or calm abiding.
That nebe, that she need Dane us, that nebe, that's she need Chitanga, she need kitchen boy chatty, Kadesana, Lando Gumiat, then you do you, Manchester Cunio on a chodrity. Carsana Lando Gumiat, she named Mina Long Marmena, Yizongra. Say she need him, but a question. What in do she need a kitchen boy chow and also Gomjala? What in do that she need neighbor sample things, then she need the leak nala. That's one up me don't do nest, zone up the game pet to do dinner. Yam taught them Lama is the Yam to talk at the Lama is. She is only Sabdon, she's on his Sabdon, the Lama Yam Yongan and Yam Chinto. That base on one Chamberlain doesn't have a was a mountain Yam Chinto or Yam Yontola. Some Rangan Sote, some Shigata, Generata, you didn't work with the Rava. What is Yam Chinto Rati, she is on Yam Yon Sabdon says, or 토삼적이 레이다 와데 토바리 잠바르 소다고 다네 제공 조고 렌조시 서다 제공선은 소소 저어데 지고 그래 저당 제공면 조금 주요 말해서 뭐 가게 배제 요 말에 다 제공 조금 간주 조고 정도야 제바 그러면 정도야 요 말하고 내 지나요 말에 제바 춘 맞인 정도야 요 말로 배장다是相同是光的那但是开始来的在차선路上的조금 그래라 정도야 요 말에 그러나 다시 뭐 못해야 요래 와데도 제공 조금은 마세 와다 제공된 조금세 예반세야 다 가르잖아 단 도초와서 유링보在大西芒波西那路电芒波在配个了틀려되는 제공세 디 메인 토시 조금세 아다 다 제가 악초와서 유링보 제가 제바시 마고 같은 조금세 어떻게 그간 예반세 교사면 니게 제공을 조금도요 말해 배장今天中国的他会去一下我曾经拿在中学头上等我那天对吧呢样子的嘛那里他前面都在那中学头上等着我这头别且真知道嘛那知道嘛等我那曾经说吧怎么要我在到呢没呗
So the practice of shamatha is really very, very important. So it says here, then Milarepa says here, then so then once you have this state of shamatha, of calm abiding, then you receive the instructions, the profound instructions from a guru who possesses experience and realization, and who condenses all of the various scriptures and teachings of the Buddha into their essential meaning. So, for example, we have Garchen Rinpoche, who really is a guru that possesses that experience. So actually his teachings really are mainly really based on his experience. And so now in terms of shamatha and vipassana now here, it is said that vipassana or insight that is not founded on calm abiding. So if we have no calm abiding, then our meditation is like a fire flame in the wind, not very stable. And then real insight cannot arise. And so also it is said that here after that it mentions that so these practices of learning and reflecting are mainly practices where we analyze. So first we need to analyze and reflect on things, and then we place our mind into a meditative state. And it says that we should practice these in turns. So sometimes we analyze, sometimes we meditate. But actually, even though we speak of these two kinds, it's called the analytical meditation and placement meditation. Even though this difference is made, actually there is no real difference. There's actually only one meditation. But it begins with an analysis, and then it ends in meditation. if we do not analyze anything first, then we also cannot place our mind into a state of meditation. So some people, for example, say that this practice of vipassana, of insight, the view of Mahamudra, they refer to that meditation as a placement meditation. But actually, that's not quite true, because even to realize Mahamudra, first that requires actually a lot of analysis. It's not just placement. We also need to really understand and analyze the nature of the mind until we can place our mind in a natural state. So there is this division made between these two kinds of meditation. According to the sutra path, first one is required to analyze for a long time until one really understands the nature of the mind. And then that leads into placement meditation that one also practices for a long time. But actually, it is actually said that all meditation really is analytical meditation, where we really inquire into the nature of the mind, and there is no real placement meditation. That's actually one thing that Jigten Sumgön said in the Tintamani, his text, that there really is just one meditation. And so if we really think about it, we can see that this is actually how it is.
That's it, Drupon Rinchen Dorje, Shamatha, Marwa, Rive. Say the Drupon Rinchen Dorje, so some of your down, Kaying out, that's it, the Drupon Rinchen Dorje, said, Jima Shadoma, Tom in attack on the Yamnachi Tom Yabore. That's it, the Drupon Kasinyama Tom, the Soso Tuso, or do you count to Yamnachi? Or did they be charged to the Yamnachi, that is the count of the Yamnachi Gana Shoja. 我提起，你马个就恐怕都切路当些多些，我都切路当拍接吞嘛的是啦。晓得提出干嘛？就是这你嘛这娘们亲的提起把第一路当着吧。没得这主办娘们第一个嘞，你嘛我做好的别解有的，没解有的噻。他俺没来的反正我启动机是，公家拉从嘛旁边追头啥啦的，可能几波面他拉什么的，晓得嘛拉的真的，真过光皮他家头没办法。 这里没来的party，别弄几双是俺帮我说送死了的，真他妈，我真的讲这要我们的。
Yeah, so then it says here, and then you should dedicate your entire life to practice. All your life has to become practice. And so now spending our life in practice is easier said than done. So we say that I'm going to practice my whole life. I'm giving up everything. I'm just going to practice. But then we often are very quick in saying that. But then as time goes by, that's not what's actually happening for the most part. So what's better actually is to not be so ambitious about it and to just practice as much as you can whenever you have time. And then when you practice, you do it really well. You do your best. For example, if you have an hour or so, you really do your best in that time. So the past Kage masters talked about giving up this life and just practicing. But now this is really something that we probably cannot really do. We cannot follow through on that. And it is better to take it in smaller like increments, like a day or an hour and so on. There was a story in Tibet about this person who was so inspired by Milarepa, and he wanted to give up everything. He gave away everything he had, and all he had left was himself. And so he went to practice and wanted to be just like Milarepa. And after some time, it just turned out that he can't actually meditate like Milarepa, and his meditation didn't go so well. And then in the end, he actually blamed Milarepa for making him a beggar.
Oh, that's the new door, isn't it? That's the mar don't you get songs today, or that don't buy you get some dirty go here. Or then Garchen about you do Garchen on the Chelsea Kanga Mada. They just say like that in young moment, they don't be mixing the human tongue, or that don't you get some to theirs. 다 돈이 이제 승대를 거래 다 동반이 고효리 닝게 고효리 티니부터 개친 버려 코나 승대 로람 로린도 텐제 사만 제조 요만한 로로 봐 로라 maybe 심치 지야서 와데 장조 샘트 고효다 개친 버려 가서 군도 장조 샘트 되는 통당 장조 샘제게 와센도 가서 군도 장조 샘트 심지한 삼지 상제 투비야 다 냠내 가르치나 다 티바 친분 투모 많이 봐 차디브라 당연히 배자 가시는 그 장조 샘세데 미과的심지한 maybe 니게 가래 니 요미과니 네 가래 상제 통도 해도 되다다 연대 심지한 가래 다지 있으면 저 말이만 이제 말하다 장조 샘세 되요라 소니 나브라 미과 심지한 maybe 니게 시랍 조장 매 봐라. 와데 미 파심지안 매 봐. 시랍 조장 매 봐. 와데 닝제를 다 시랍 송트 되고 쇼리. 와데 장조 샘선도. 와데 전정으로 동니 닝제 송트 되스. 로라 매 심치치 라로. 미미 이게 송니 덴바치 미미 이시테다 시랍 조장 매 봐서 심지안 상제 토비 악섬로 당와트리. 와데네 몰람상 본타 달라종 스테 몰람상 보틱 달라종 고레 zon도.
And then it says, and you have to bring together, you have to unite emptiness with compassion. And that's actually also, that's most important actually. And Garchen Rinpoche, he always shows that by combining the teachings of the Ganges Mahamudra and the 37 Bodhisattva practices, for example. And that's actually a very special method to bring together emptiness and compassion. And then it says when you go around and when you're going around, then develop a bodhicitta that has sentient beings in mind, and develop the non-conceptual and that is also possessed of a non-conceptual wisdom. And so that here explains the nature of bodhicitta. So it refers first to the relative bodhicitta, and through the relative bodhicitta, you realize the ultimate bodhicitta. And here it is explained as when you go around, you have sentient beings in mind. So bodhicitta is to wish for the benefit of sentient beings, having that compassion, and then also having the wisdom that aims to the attainment of complete enlightenment. So that is this kind of bodhicitta is explained here, what bodhicitta actually is. And then with that bodhicitta, he says, with bodhicitta, you should ride the horse, the excellent horse of aspiration prayer.
Tenete zamala pen korte zondo teda lam jin juram nam so ta ngondo li chin nam ro thang je chong so lam dong ri do lam jin juram nam lai bar kong to chu ba thang so ya bo so ko chu le ya bo zam dang ko se ta so ji dang ga zo ro thang ni lu da zai ngondo li ma shin ro thang so nyam ne ji yong de so de nyam nyong sa ko an chu ge ba ngondo li chi te wa de lai bar se so ko chu ba chi ne Gombe ni nam sheba tans. Tendu chi de gombe nenga atso ha ko hongres. O gombe ni ten sheba tans. Chuo junxi. Zhang wen tu se wa de chuo junxi ta junxi me le gombe ja go se. Chuo junxi. Chu de junxi yo ma la khasi chu dem na de chu junxi yo ma la. Wa de na ji ta mu tu de chi go res. Je dang gombe ja ya la. Kanza chepa yo wa kha ji ta ze re chung dong zi so nam za de le na. Gombe jo bo ji ya偏头有啥的，可是这是过个的，他这样的最近的那用那说的可能的，因为他忙起在这国家是忙个的，他这下吧的人生多的，这下人就不往这样子的，人生的，这里看来，我听到，我这salam chota tarchines，我这salam chota是tarchin个是，这就讲讲呢，tarchines。Remsi toch pas on chose wat is de remsi de nero on chose ngis ya chu ju sti nyama si de wa on jor top salam do
So then he says that, so these levels of the path that we just mentioned before, stage by stage, as you go through them, starting from the preliminaries and so forth, as you progress along the practice, as you go through each of those stages, you have to gain an actual experience or internalize each of these stages well until you move on to the next stage. And then it says, then you should gain a true understanding of the crucial point of meditation. And having then gained this understanding, you should maintain this practice like a ceaseless river of flowing, like continuously. And by the power of doing that, you will reach the end. You will reach perfection of all the stages and the paths, and you will accomplish all the signs of realization. So in this way, you have to train in the path gradually until realization is attained. So here, there's different kind of individuals. For example, Rejungpa is someone who already has a lot of merit from the past, and for someone like that, meditation may progress very quickly. But then for the most part, most individuals have to go in a more gradual, slow way to progress and to reach the limit of meditation. We generally speak about those who instantaneously realize and those who gradually realize. And so for the most part, we can assume that we are those who gradually realize. So we have to go through each of these stages.
Dendra Kurve Ransang Raisa, or Tanara to Manam Jimada Shiris, Jitangaranso Tata Nawa, the Chahua to be in Ziba Chimboyore. The name of Chadam Mambos Ashore. Or the Chadam Mambos, so to Gange Mambo, Tangarans from Chia, Tomatic Chadder, Chilo, Damanda, so Damanda Tone, Tel then Tera Chadan Zeza. What he can get that Damanda Kohona, Tel then Chadan Zeza. What in Chandra Kurka, that is what Manam Jimada she is on the Kuranji Trobiomara, the Chadans of Seku Yomari. What that's a lapure. What in a Dendra Kurve Ransang race, that Dendra thing Kurvek John, the Tongaris, that do you Kurvat Dendra then Trobi Roaka, Kurako Nimbo me but it is Kurvat Nimbo me but Kurve Dendra Nimbo me but in Tongas, Kurve Dendra Kurve Ransang race, Lando. What in the Truna, she meets a jet, so what in 2 weeks no she got to that 2 Mamma Yorba, Tisama, that she made a Zavan Pachede, that Rangi Doshum Joshu Sarava, or Tangan to pay Chad, the Damanda, Namanda Tokyo, the Damanda Yunkurati, some other, could Nero Stosona, the Chusik Zabami, but Donju Sarva. Sanjay Simtia Yelmi course, what that was on the Sanjay Simtia Yelmilis, the Kazan was on Malarin Gordy or Namshi Maton, Yishi Tonseriwa, the what in Don Rita. The was on it, the Luciano Shosarwa.
So then he says, and understand that all appearances and sounds, to be like dreams and illusions. See, understanding them to be like dreams and illusions, the true nature of samsara's interdependent existence will reveal itself to you. And so normally we have a lot of fixation to various appearances and sounds, and due to that we develop many thoughts of attachment, aversion, and ignorance. And it is really because of these mental fixations that we encounter all kinds of difficulties all the time. For example, we hear something and then we develop all kinds of thoughts about that and so on, or we see something and so on. So if you really know that all of these appearances are like dreams and like illusions, then there is no more really existing object of your attachment, aversion, and ignorance. And then you will see what samsara really is. That samsara has no real essence, no substance. Things just arise interdependently. So then it says, then you realize that all these confused appearances to lack any basis or root, to possess no true inherent existence. And then you realize that all beings and Buddhas are actually indivisible. So now we develop all kinds of thoughts, but when you really understand their nature, when you realize the nature of the mind, then, as Rinpoche also mentioned the other day in the Milarepa teachings, then, as Milarepa said, I do not see dualistic consciousness, I only see primordial awareness. No sentient beings, only Buddhas.
then today is on Kundi Chava Mayam is the Kundi main dollars as Marata, Kunero Stoson, Kurazo Ranji Trovio Marwa. Kura setting around Zimbabwe, you later trouble the Uraka, I think Zimbabwe Pasha, then Kurazo's trouble the Yosamari, then Kundi, Sedan Kura, the Yandezo Yermi, but also the thing Kundi Chava Mayam is Rava. What in Tedari yellow Nelo Nams, what Tedari yellow Nelo Tazos, Conde Tuba Kovais, what that the Conde what you want the Kovas Grista. Or Kovas Gris, the Darkan said that. Then go on the sound of it. Go on the sound of it.
And then he says, so therefore, then when you realize that, when you realize the nature of your mind, then even the names of samsara and nirvana do not exist. So basically, what we call samsara is nothing else but a thought in our mind, a fixating thought. But when that fixation dissolves, then there is also no more samsara. And so in that sense, samsara and nirvana are indivisible. And so Milarepa then says, when you have fully internalized how things really are, the nature of this, then that is what we call an understanding.
Oh, Zeje Nyambar Shabe, not what Chabé Nyamna is, what that Zeje not what Chabé Nyamna and Dramada Sharum is on Dua. She needed to go Nyamna Dramada, you said it. In that Nyamna to Sama Rajima Robanda, you said it, that Nyam so Nyam Ziliko, Nyam Partana, then Dohan Old Chorgo Saram and Nyam keep into Shira, Nyam Jibu Pintoshira, you samari. Chitan. Jiganzum Gonke, Tigonche not you are, Curse, John meeting the comes on Corvaju, said you are. John meeting this John maybe thing and see comes on Corvaju. What are the Carisana? Deva Zewe Metal Yam the Chons on the Yamtaso, then Sanji took Maris. Yamtaso Patas, one that Sanji Gres. Well, the John meeting comes on Corvaju, said it. What? Nyamto the Jibos and Chon the Silin, the Jochina John Man and Yam Jibuket, and the Pentok Mares, Kuracham Gares, and Shosarawa, or Tichi, Napso and Cherry and Yamna, yes. Tedon on your Dopa is what he told the Taneros, what that wants Chordy, so not Sam Nero Tos on that Dopas, the La Fiora. The Dopa is, and Zimi Dopa or Chonas. What on Zimi Dopa or Chonas, and what on Zimi Dopa or Chona? Did I hear one is, and did I raise that is Mimic. Then there was some grace, and I'm not at it.
And so then Milarepa says, and as you dwell in this meditative state single-pointedly, various meditative experiences and appearances may arise, and so. Then, so we need to understand that these experiences that arise during our meditation, they also do not have any true existence to them, any true substance. So we should not actually really believe too much in those experiences, because finally, any of those experiences has to dissolve, has to become purified. And only then a true realization will actually manifest. So the experiences, the meditative experiences, actually are not what we are aiming for. They themselves are of no benefit at all. They're not important. Actually, Jigten Sumgön said in the Gongchik that a flawless state of meditative absorption of samadhi, that itself actually is a cause of wandering in the 3 realms of samsara. And so what he means is that through the meditative experiences of bliss, of clarity, and of non-thought, thought-free state, these experiences do not lead to enlightenment. These experiences just arise because of meditation, but they, in the end, also must dissolve. Any experience of meditation must become purified, dissolve, and then one attains enlightenment. So the experience itself is really of no importance. And so he says that when it dissolves, then you actualize, then you manifest true realization. And he says that when you manifest true realization that is without any grasping, then it happens. So this happens through the previously explained instructions. So this is how you get to this state.
Then se nga no ki yang dos nam ka tong ba tong then se nga no ki yang dos la pa tong be pa tong du nga na ki ja sa ra nam ka tong ba ta la pa ne ba tong sa ra tong ba te tong ba nga na ki yang sa ra wa te la do ne kar se de pa gon la cha ge nu be dam pa dam ba ma zhe ya 나파 원담나 이 참마 장도 렘바신의 차지 다다 요래 차지 다다 종스 다다 양요 스동도 어때네 다 말아레비 나동랑 이 조비 마르브 도사로 말아레바 딘진바 요 말이 된나마 동바세 요 말이 디 차스란 차포티 요 삼으로와 코란 진바 헤이사로와 어때 인디테네 다다 된효래 어때 된 훈디테네 다 레종 같이 요르세나 도와드네 대다라 집에 담파다 집에 태양 요토 사타 양들이 요리 사타 내려오다 도와드는 데는 요리 제총 베스 내려 통도 토 용지 송사 고냠 냐 고함들이 자와사라 제총 고함들이 자비 된 담파가 도가 휴디 라판나 도스다 참고 요사 제총 그런 라판 나발리 마중스 도 하고도 어다 레전 그런 집에 해도 말이야. 그 잡고下的都是有말하대.
So Milarepa says, so when you have realized the natural state of mind, then it is like this. What he showed how it is. So Milarepa was someone who had realized appearance and emptiness, the empty nature of appearances. So there was no more grasping in Milarepa's mind. So what he then showed to Rajungpa was like playing, like beating the sky like a drum and producing the sound of a drum, and punching a rock with his hand, and going right through it like going through wet mud and leaving a hand imprint there. So this is what happens when you realize the nature of the mind truly. And so then he said, you, Rajungpa, on the other hand, So you, Rajungpa, on the other hand, have gained some slight experience in meditation. However, if you were to punch a boulder with your hand, all that would happen is you break your hand.
then that is chung cha mambo pudi mohu chimbo chi tai gorje yor dan dam tu su manda ta sha khan sare wa te lunga yi som chamam bugi sta samaji wa nga tuji siro ta nga ja singen non chun dos do te ko ke lang to sara.
So then after that, Rejungpa, then he realized and his pride dissolved, and he prostrated to Milarepa, and he developed devotion and let go of his pride, and he said, I'm offering my body, speech, and mind until I attain enlightenment.
Thì còn là thành tựu giáo bộ rằng tôi biết chăng là hồ đã xin là hồ đã nói chú đã hồ region như bọn trẻ ba chim bồi rồi hồ tại mình được công nghệ thì ông nó thà đấy sẽ đấy, còn vào công nghệ đi sử dụng cái rằng gì thì khởi dụng trong giá đi rồi, thế giá đi thì còn giảm nó đang đi rồi, anh nói thành tựu đi giá thằng na công nghệ suy na rồi anh nói còn vào nào rồi, thành tựu đi thì lo đó nằm bị số chữ giá số gom thọ. Thành tựu chung á, tại ngã số ta nhắm nhung sen ngã số hồ chế đấy hồ là nên tụi khởi hóa có cái đó thì cái công nghệ thì khởi nguồn năng khởi vào đấy, đó thì sử dụng cái đấy sẽ làm được. Thế nên ta mà thà đấy sẽ làm được. Thế thì con duy nhất con cái chả là việc ăn chả được cả thế nên mình nhắm lại chỉ bảo cho mình là có thì con không chỉ chả được thì偏 thì sửa thế nên ngã số thành tựu là thì sử dụng á, thế chả được, chẳng hạn ba chúng thì偏 那这ngã số chú nhắm lại chỉ大的话。thế nên khởi sự năng rồi Milarepa zong rồi khang ngang đồ chỉ chụp phát giang ngang ba chung đường tham bas, khang ngom đồ chỉ sẽ khá, tại gia trang thông chỉ bộ chỉ để đang ngã chụp phát siêu anh làm sang chỉ chụp siêu, thế thì giang ngang chung đường tham bas, thế thì zong rồi thế nào gì, thế giang ngang gang ngã rồi chỉ đông lang thôn na, thế nên chụp chỉ偏 thôi rồi ba, thế nên thế mà thôi na thế thì chỉ là sẽ偏số 내로 딱사 고만 탑데 대가서 편 토토요 말아 다 장에 방아 소 체효 된 치와 마타 세트리 디 강나 소소소소 다 동랑 토비아 소소소 강에 시라메레 지톤드 냠나야 야 컨트롤도 업데 다로와 와테 링가나 소 텔리총사다 자스세 망보제 가소다 된 감성 코로나에 된 잠만다 요라서 참마 코로나에 상인 바 하고 와 참참마 타인 바티 하고 렌델 대한 충효 바 하고 와서 준된 전가서 소베나는 냠나시야 와 텔리총나 These pento yorism of Kassan as a whole to depend on the one and using toning our whole jelly, whole sari, what is someone as a hakogura. What in do? This one has this kitchen Buddhism, so what a lot of shit or this Huimba.
So of all of that, what's really important for us to really reflect upon a bit more is the four thoughts that turn the mind. Because that will really help you to deal with the different problems and the negative circumstances that you encounter in your life, that everyone encounters. In the Tibetan culture, for example, the Tibetan culture is really mixed with, really connected to the Tibetan religion. And there's just a habit for Tibetans to think in this way. Even if someone is not actually a practitioner, a great practitioner, there's just this natural habit that when we run into difficulties and there's problems and so on, that we don't get so overwhelmed by it, and we don't develop these intense feelings about everything, but we just think that this is just samsara, and that we will run into some problems. They always come and then they go. So we remember impermanence and we remember karma. And so that's really very beneficial to actually, if we can apply that to our own lives, because everybody runs into difficulties. Everyone has difficult times. And for this reason, it's very good to remember that, especially the four thoughts that turn the mind. So I, for example, am born in Tibet and raised in Tibet, so I have that habit, and Tibet has been through difficulties. But also if through this habit now, when I encounter some difficulties or have a hard time, then I just take it more light and feel that this is just happens in samsaric life and things are just impermanent and there's karma and so on. So that kind of thinking is really very useful when you encounter difficult circumstances. And actually, if you can deal with those difficult moments, then it's really a sign that you are actually practicing. Milarepa also said that it's easy to say that I'm a practitioner or I'm almost enlightened when you're happy and everything is going well. But then the moment you encounter difficulties, you just become an ordinary person. And then all the practice you are doing really becomes sort of useless. Even if you meditate in the nature of mind sometimes, if you cannot deal with difficult situations when it comes down to it, then all of this meditation is of not so much benefit. So if you're able to deal with those moments, then it's really a sign of practice. And just think in this way, that when things get difficult, that this is just how it is, and things are impermanent, that is karma and so on. And if you think in this way, even if you're not always practicing and so on, if you're just living in life, a normal life, actually it becomes real practice. And you actually become a true Dharma practitioner because you're actually able to deal with the circumstances of life. And that really develops your practice. So I find that this is a very important thing to remember.
And
we have a few more minutes left. Do you have a question? We have time for like one or two.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So it's very easy to have experience of duality of self, others, and like duality of mind.
Have what?
Is it possible
Duality?
to
Louder. Duality.
Duality.
basically it's very easy to have so it's easy to have experience of duality of self and others. It's like appears in spontaneous way. Is there a way to kind of like turn this experience to like recognition of non-duality? Because Rinpoche was teaching just to observe and like do nothing with this experience and let it go. But is there a way just to, if we have this realization of like that I'm experiencing duality, like turn it the other way?
Turn it the other way to non-duality.
To non-duality.
So Garchen Rinpoche actually always mentions that that the best method is to cultivate bodhicitta and then to gradually combine that with the view of emptiness. So to practice this all the time continuously. And most important is to, first of all, cultivate love and compassion. And in that way, the self-grasping, this dualistic grasping diminishes. And then finally, the view of emptiness really uproots self-grasping entirely. And also it is good to remind yourself of death and impermanence, that whatever arises doesn't actually truly exist the way it appears, and it also only arises momentarily and is constantly changing. Everything is constantly transforming and changing and just appears that way momentarily. So even if we tried to hold on to it, cling to it, we couldn't even. It is just that we don't realize that. In brief, what we need most most importantly is a mind of love and compassion, and that becomes then combined with emptiness later, and then all fixation or grasping will dissolve. And so now it might be hard to understand emptiness, but just try to cultivate love and compassion for all sentient beings as much as you can. And so the experience that you are having is actually not just you are having that experience. Actually, most of us really have that experience. One more question? Yeah, one more.
I continue personally to suffer from the death of my only son. He died 15 months ago, and I'm better now than I was even 3 months ago. My son died in a very tragic way, and the question is, for someone that it just is, I'm empty in terms of, I have compassion for everyone, but it's like a trance of emptiness that I feel. I can relate to suicidal people. I can relate to people not wanting to be here, but yet I understand the sacredness of life and the beauty of this life. So the question is, what meditation, when you talk about emptying, becoming empty, I feel empty. Is there some direction for meditation that you could perhaps suggest that could help all of us?
Thing is, I'm charming this one. I will raise them to that. Karsena, Ajatan, the method somewhat younger. The Samana Yungri, that's Janana Gangi Tenutri, Tena Gangi de Mambo Yungri. What in the Chamni Jagum, that's Samana could Simjan, Zingazum Kurana, Jesana, Tambo Swan Zumia at Chuniri, part Shin at Chuniri, Kona, correct Netani. Mato Zakati, using what to do to Kumara, Zajina, the Kayo Mara, some Chimbo Yura, the Yulang Haku, no, the Inazet, Chamni, the Chancho, Sam to this Gom, that could be net on the Ruzam, so the Yamnati scene. The Tendruchi Molam Raja, Tendruchi booked a pengri, or the Mandra don't something out of Jeran said, Chamni did on Nirwa, Jeran said it's Guamtine, Chamni don't man don't Tendruchi Bula pengri, a pentot chigua. What in that Zajina and Samsan Susukayo Maragangi you do in other, the Azuchido Maranko Netanwa, or the Jitan Sama Tendri, Manchis Kurakon, Najisan, Tendring and Smato Tendrimba, Tendri, Zamte, some of the Stanrova.
So it would be good to meditate on love and compassion. And so impermanence is really something that it really happens to everybody. And of course that is very difficult. What you have experienced is very difficult. But also remember that like many people experience these kind of difficulties. So cultivate love for everyone else too. And as I mentioned before, since we already have taken birth in samsara, everyone who is born is bound to die. And that's the nature of this world. and nobody can stay for very long, actually. And of course, that it is completely understandable that you're feeling very sad, but also just remember that this is the nature of samsara, and it is like that for everyone. So cultivate love and compassion for everyone, and make prayers. And recite, for example, the Mani mantra, Chenrezig's mantra. Chenrezig is an embodiment of love and compassion. So if you practice in this way, that will actually also really help your son a lot. Then we stop here.
Yeah.
So maybe we do a short dedication here in the yellow prayer book. Yeah, on page 10. By the virtues collected in the 3 times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment.
Hi, guys. Just a couple of quick announcements. One is regarding the pond behind the stupa. So we're going to need some volunteers today, and then the landscape crew will take over tomorrow.